Hey guys, it's Miranda, and today I am here to review Marie Antoinette Serial Killer by Katie Alender, which I may not be pronouncing her last name right, but really is that a surprise to anyone at this point in time. Now, Marie Antoinette, and I always have to say it that way because it's just, there's no other way to say it honestly, this is a book I am kicking myself for not reading earlier because it was so good. It reminded me a lot of The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson, if you read that book, because it's about a teenage girl who goes abroad to a European city and ends up having some strange happenings with a ghostly presence that's murdering people in town. Except in The Name of the Star, the girl was going to London and the ghost was recreating the murders of Jack the Ripper, while in this book, the main character Colette is in Paris and this ghost is murdering people via beheadings like Marie Antoinette was beheaded herself. Now, this book, like I said, it's completely fabulous, and I think one of the reasons I was in love with it so much was because it was set in Paris, and I love like all things Paris, and it was so Parisian and everything, and it just felt really authentic and really genuine. The story itself is really creepy and really like haunting and gothic and so cool, and I don't really read books like this because they freak me out, and this book definitely freaked me out because what I liked about it, and I think this was also in The Name of the Star, is that the book starts out with you like reading the point of view of the person who's murdered in Paris, and throughout the book there are murderees. Is that what you call them when they get murdered? Murderees? Whatever it is, you see their point of views from the time they're getting murdered, and you kind of can make all the connections and everything. Whoever had this book before me too, it's a library book, they wrote in it, and no, that's a big no-no, but they wrote like down like clues, like trying to like connect the things, so like I figured everything out 10 times sooner than the main character did because I had it all laid out for me nicely by whoever wrote in a library book, which again, no, don't do that, even though thank you, because I knew what was happening before anyone else did. So yay! Hard to say like what happens without spoiling it. But basically Colette goes to Paris with her school, and she, because her parents are recently divorced, has now lost basically all her money, and she's at school on a scholarship. All her clothes are vintage and stuff like that, but her two best friends, Hannah and Pillar, however you pronounce that name, they don't know about anything basically about her. They don't know that she's claustrophobic, they don't know that she lost her money now, they don't know that her mom has to work at Macy's, they don't know that she lives in a small apartment with her brother and her mom instead of a big rich house, and the reason she keeps all this a secret from them is because her friends are completely obsessed with social status, and Hannah in particular is such the mean bitch stereotype. Like anything you say if you don't agree with Hannah, she just like ices you out. So Colette kind of keeps all this a secret from her because she doesn't want Hannah to kick her out of the group and then to not have any friends. But the cool thing is, which is why I like this book a little more than I like The Name of the Star, is that it's just the character growth and development with Colette is really amazing to see, because even though yes, it's a supernatural book with ghosts and beheadings and murders, ghosts, we're still like a good heart and a good message to it, in that Colette grows into a really relatable story and a really real story, in that kind of seeing, are the people you're friends with really the people you should be friends with, or are there better people out there, more real people out there that would be better friends? So it's kind of a cool story to see that whole thing. And then I also was really more satisfied with the ending than I was with The Name of the Star, because I feel like it was explained a lot better. And one of the things that's so hard about these books is, yes, it's so cool and it's so like scary and on the edge of your seat when you're reading about the murderer and you're kind of trying to track down who the murderer is, but then when you finally get to the ghost murderer, you're kind of like, what do we do now? Does anyone know how to stop a murderous ghost? Anyone? No? Okay. So that's why it kind of gets like a little hard, I feel like, with endings when it comes to ghost stories, but this one was perfect. Like, I couldn't have asked for anything better because it just tied it all together so nicely. It had her character development, her realizing who she wanted to really be, and it's just like it tied together the whole message of the story about like regretting things, forgiveness, being obsessed with your social status and who your friends are. Like all these just really real and important messages just came together at the end in such a nice, genuine way. Like it didn't feel forced or anything, and that's what I really loved about the ending. There's also a small, un poquito, that's Spanish I think, but romance in the book between this really cool French boy Jules and Colette, and I really like it just because I don't know, it's not like too overshadowing the whole story, but at the same time it doesn't feel like it's unnecessary. Like I feel like they could have done the story without the romance, but it's not like the romance takes away from the story, it just kind of makes it more cute. Sometimes takes away from the like scary murderous moments, so that was nice to have. And then the other thing that I would highly recommend if you read the story is there's a lot of French in it, obviously, because the ghost speaks French, a lot of the characters Colette meets speak French, and a lot of the like things she finds around town are written in French. The author sometimes like will translate what it says, but a lot of the time Colette doesn't know what the F anyone is saying because she doesn't know French that well. So what I did was I just popped open Google Translate on my iPad and I would type in what it was saying and then it would tell me in English. And oh my gosh, I definitely recommend you do that because it makes the story 10 times more creepier when you hear like what these people are saying, what the ghost is saying. Like, oh my gosh, I was like flipping out when I read some of the stuff, and oh, it's just so good. I can't even spoil the best one. Oh, it was so good. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So this is a story I definitely enjoyed, and like I said, I'm so mad at myself for not reading it sooner because it's so good, and it's so different because I don't really read a lot of ghost stories myself, and I don't usually read a lot of ghost stories that are that good where the conclusion felt just as good as the whole body of the story, like the building up to it. And I think a lot of that had to do with that it was set in Paris and it ties so nicely to like the history of Paris and the history of Marie Antoinette, and I really just enjoyed the story as a whole. I love the characters, I love the setting, of course, I love the mystery, I love the reason behind the ghosts, I love everything. Like, I could not complain about a single thing in this story, and basically everything you want to happen happens. Like when you're like, please, for once, just stand up to your friends and stop being a pansy. Boom! It's like everything you could want happens, like 10 pages after you say you really want it to happen. It's like, it's a book that never stops on giving. That's how I would describe it. I also really love the tagline for it. It's 21st century girl, 18th century ghost, heads will roll. So if you have read this book, please feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments so I can fangirl about it with all of you, because I got this from the library, but I will definitely be adding it to my own book collection as soon as I possibly can because it was just that good. So thank you guys all so much for watching, and please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and want to see more videos, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. Be told when I make all sorts of new videos. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! I don't know that she's... I know, it's following.